Okay, so we know there is many upcoming FPS games that will be releasing this year or next year in 2022, like Back 4 Blood, Battlefield 6, Far Cry 6, and much more. There's plenty to get excited about and have a good time with. But in this video, I want to concentrate on 8 FPS games that haven't received much attention yet and that could definitely make it onto your list of games to look forward. They don't have a lot of attention yet, but hopefully this video can help just a little bit. So make sure you guys drop a like so the algorithm can be in our favor and people find this video. Let's get started with the first game. First off, we have Necromanda Aragon. This upcoming brutal FPS game is a project that, in my opinion, already passed under the radar for the sole reason of it being in the Warhammer series. Aragon is the second upcoming FPS game in the Warhammer franchise, and so people being excited or simply expecting a second one weren't really high, but this game is looking really interesting. In Aragon, navigate an ocean of crime and corruption to balance the bloody ecosystem of Necromanda as a merciless Aragon. The money's good, the dog's loyal, and the gun's reliable, but can you survive the hunt? Necromanda Aragon is an indie fast-paced, violent, and thrilling FPS set in the darkest reaches of Warhammer's 40k's most infamous hive city. For the right price, eliminate the most notorious gangers and mutants. Your armory is a sprawling arsenal. Your body is enhanced with a dozen customizable augments to run on walls and leap over everything. Your cyber mastiff will sniff out and kill enemies for you, while your grappling hook allows quick, agile traversal of the massive environments. Again, your cyber mastiff is your only true companion, half dog, half robot, and ready to kill for you in exchange for treats. He warns you of enemies, can insta-kill them with a bite to the neck, and generally watches your back. In return, you can keep in hale and healthy with the best augments money can buy. The game is coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox, and PC. Next up, we have Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. That is quite the name for a game that I think will be heavily underrated at release, and who knew that this Sniper Ghost Warrior series would still be alive to this day after some games in the series just being overall pretty normal or mediocre. Well, thanks to the Contracts series, the franchise is back on track with a premise better than ever. Take the Hitman games but as an FPS, and you have Contracts 2, which is all I need really. This new game will give you targets to eliminate, and then it is up to you how you want to end them. Featuring a dramatic single-player campaign set in modern-day Middle East, experience high-pressure tactical combat deep inside enemy territory. Take on the role of Raven, contract sniper assassin, as he embarks on a new series of contracts in a lawless region of the Middle East, located along the Lebanese and Syrian borders. Tasked with a seemingly impossible task, your mission is to topple an insidious criminal syndicate and bring them to justice. Developed by the same studio behind the original game, Contracts 2 pushes new boundaries with its hyper-realistic sniping experience, master a wide arsenal of weaponry based on realistic military equipment, explore vast terrains with an enhanced level of detail, and confront the series' most lifelike enemies to date. Equipped with all new equipment, each highly replayable contract can be completed in a variety of ways. Replay the mission with a different approach to complete all objectives, ready to spend your earnings on improved gadgets and weaponry. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 demands a new level of skill, focus, and precision, with many targets now over a kilometer away, which is a first for the series. Let me know if you're excited for this one. Next up, we have Ill. This upcoming FPS game is still pretty early in development, but man could it be something amazing. The concept gameplay of what the developers are aiming for Ill is something out of a weird creepy horror movie that takes inspiration from both Resident Evil 7 and Outlast. The mastermind of Ill is a successful short CGI movie maker by the name of Oleg Dovenko. Not only what he's creating is unique, but it is all rendered in real time, and so it is not just a cinematic created for marketing purposes, it is all real. Here's what Ill is all about. In short, it is a survival horror with an unofficial slogan that says you can dismember the enemy, but you will regret it. The complete dismemberment of any enemy is difficult, as said by the developers, but it is one of the main things that they will implement and is extremely important. They also don't want to make the players feel like superheroes in Hill, meaning they will place them in a grim, unpredictable environment, and also show them shocking scenes and wrap everything in proper sound design. The players should always feel that everything that's happening around them is real and absolutely terrifying. You're not supposed to be there. Also, they are not against screamers, but it is important to think them them through, place them correctly, and not to overdo it. Right now they are creating an extended demo that we will be trying in the near future, and are still looking for more investment for Hill. Let me know if you like what you're seeing. Next up we have Exomo. I've already talked about this game so much, but the game's new trailer excited me a lot more than I anticipated, and so I am back talking about it. Exomo has mostly flown under the radar so far. It was first announced in July of 2020, which was where almost every big game announcements happen, and so of course it went unnoticed. The game is not only bringing all-out free-to-play PvP and PvE multiplayer battle on the ground level in typical first-person shooter style, but it's also bringing massive mechs and dragons to the table to make those same battles even more ridiculously crazy. This game is 100% looking like the game you want to have fun with after a long day of work or school. The game is said to be releasing this August 2021 on both Xbox Series X and PC. At its core, it is a first-person multiplayer shooter in which players will engage in regular gunplay and use vehicles like ATVs, helicopters, and some kind of huge spider tank that can destroy anything in its path. It goes even beyond that by including giant mechs with various forms and swords, which will completely change how a match is played. Along with these new vehicles, fans get a first look at the grappling hook ability, which appears to be used to quickly enter vehicles from far away. The similarities to both Halo and Titanfall extend to the various movement abilities that are shown so far. Here's what Exomo mean. A new habitable planet named Omega becomes discovered by multiple smart species in the galaxy. To take control of the planet's resources, those species fight against each other. At first, the Exomo journey will start with all natural environments. As more civilizations come to the planet, the maps will evolve, and each civilization will reflect its theme to maps. The dragon coming into each match will be AI controlled and a boss battle that each player can try and take on, but will be very difficult. Next up we have Quantum Error. I also already talked about this one, but the game's new extended 17 minutes of gameplay just released, and man is it looking like a Dead Space / Mass Effect inspired project. And even though there's no denying it is a small indie game with bugs and such, I do like where this game is heading. It is being made by a small independent team of only 4 dedicated individuals. Team Kill Media, the developers, is putting Quantum Error as its second major title. This one in particular is getting a lot of attention, surprising fans with its really atmospheric reveal almost a full year ago. Described as a cosmic horror FPS, the very long extended trailer gave us a glimpse of what we'll be tackling in Quantum Error, and it looks pretty disturbing at times, with the many different monsters that will be coming at you, all looking the more creepy. Quantum Error also has both a first-person and third-person element to give the choice to players, and it seems both view gives a totally different experience. When the Monad Quantum Research Facility, 30 miles off the shore of CA, is attacked by an unknown entity, engulfing the complex in flames and putting it into a full containment lockdown, a distress call is sent for mutual aid to the Garbura Fire Depot in San Francisco. Your mission is simple: save as many lives from the burning complex as possible and get out. However, what starts as a rescue mission quickly plummets into darkness when you arrive and find that things are not as they appear. You're just a random firefighter sent to help, but now everything has changed. Let me know if you're excited for it. Next up we have Deadloop. Deadloop is a next-gen first-person shooter from Arcane Lion, the award-winning studio behind Dishonored. In Deadloop, 2 rival assassins are trapped in a mysterious time loop on the island of Black Reef, doomed to repeat the same day for eternity. As code, the only chance for escape is to end the cycle by assassinating 8 key targets before the day resets. Learn from each cycle, try new paths, gather intel, and find new weapons and abilities. Do whatever it takes to break the loop. Every new loop is an opportunity to change things up. Use the knowledge you gain from each attempt to change up your playstyle, stealthily sneaking through levels or barreling into the fight, guns blazing. In each loop you'll discover new secrets, gather intel on your targets as well as the island of Black Reef, and expand your arsenal. Armed with a host of otherworldly abilities and savage weaponry, you'll utilize every tool at your command to execute takedowns that are as striking as they are devastating. Customize your loadout wisely to survive this deadly game of hunter versus hunted. Are you the hero or the villain? You'll experience Deadloop's main story as Scott, hunting down targets across the island of Black Reef to break the loop and earn your freedom. All the while you'll be hunted by your rival Juliana, who can be controlled by another player. So if you're feeling devious, you too can step into Juliana's stylish sneakers and invade another player's campaign to kill Colt. The multiplayer experience though is completely optional, and players can choose to have Juliana controlled by AI within their campaign. Next up, we have No More Room in Hell 2. In the sequel to the 2011 award-winning Source mod, you and your fellow survivors must make your way through a diseased world that has seen the dead rise to feast on the living. Cooperation and teamwork are vital if the human race is to survive this living hell. The world endured the current pandemic that induced comas or death in its victims for over a year. Governments scrambled to quarantine infected cities or outright collapsed as millions became infected. Scientists had a promising vaccine ready for distribution until the infected began dying, only to wake with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. Chaos and death leave you and the remaining survivors in the most desperate fights of your lives as you run, stab, smash, and blast your way to safety. The main game features in No More Room in Hell 2 includes survive together in 8-player co-op against hordes of the undead who feel no pain and will stop at nothing to get you. You can also explore diverse, open, and non-linear maps with many randomized and dynamic elements, ensuring your experience is different each time you play. You can also search and scavenge for any weapons, ammo, and gear you can find to help you survive long enough to be rescued. If you can't survive together, you will die alone. This game is extremely hardcore and not a Left 4 Dead lookalike. Each zombies will act a different way depending on what you do. Each zombie can also smell you and come at you very rapidly while you're trying to survive with each weapon or scrap found. Finally, we have 83. We still don't have much to talk about concerning this upcoming game, but there's quite a lot of early gameplay to show. 83 is a Cold War gone hot, combined arms, first-person military shooter for high player counts, said to be 80 plus players, currently in development at Antimatter Games, the creator of Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. The game pits two large platoons of players against each other in massive maps, fighting over a number of objectives that have a tangible impact on the battle as a whole, when held by the victorious faction. Players will have access to a selection of real-world infantry weapons and equipment, as well as a selection of powerful land and air vehicles, which can decisively turn the tide of a battle. 83's weapons are authentic to their real-world counterparts. All weapons work as players would expect in the real world, with systems such as ballistic modeling, penetration, real-world accurate recoil, and advanced weapon handling, putting the most iconic weapons of the Cold War in your hands. 1983 was a tense year for global politics. In the game 83, these tensions explode into a global conflict where what if has become when. This game escalates to a world war for dominance between two nuclear superpowers. I'm really excited to see more about this one. Alright guys, that is all for today's video. If you'd like to see more of these games in the future on the channel, then make sure you give this video a little like, and of course make sure you subscribe to stay tuned. Talk to you all soon. Thanks to Richard Westfall, Bruce Rain 236, Thunderbeard, Kianzo Fagari, Rickno23, Diamond Hunter 45, Themistocles, Space Beer Gaming, and Rash Singbati for being a master member on the channel. You can become a survivor member for as low as 99 cents only by clicking the join button below. This will support me and the channel as a whole to continue making videos on the games that truly deserve it.